Now we review the 2023 horror film Fire Island. Oh, it's really gay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I have seen Fire Island. And I think there's more than one 2023 movie called Fire Island because, this one is a slasher movie set at a sex island. The primary story involves a group of friends who are taking their gay friend to the island so that he can find love because his boyfriend died and he's been in a funk ever since. And you're like, okay. There's a lot of gay going on in this movie. In fact, there's more gay in this movie than there is slasher. And that's kind of the problem. The slasher is actually a really interesting character. He's got like this skull thing and these antlers, and he's really scary and interesting, but it's like, the sort of the hook sequence is this sequence with this elderly gay couple, and why they get waxed we don't know, but they do, so you know that it's a murder movie. And then it's like, you've got like the not that hot Asian chick who's banging the heck out of her boyfriend, and her whole thing is she's there to have lots and lots of sex. She's a very dominant presence. She likes to be on top. And then, you've got the chick that shows a lot of cleavage, although you never get to actually see the boobs. And then the sad guy, and yeah. And this all happens during the pandemic, which was a very tense time for all of us. So, I can really see when you're out there at night in the pandemic and there's just no traffic, that's a spooky time. If you didn't experience that for yourself, maybe this movie won't resonate. Kind of the problem, I think, with this movie is that your victims don't know that they're in a slasher movie until almost everyone is dead. And, it's like, pretty much, you're supposed to know you're in a slasher movie at the end of the first act. Because that's when you start taking an active turn in trying to defend yourself, which is the dynamic of these movies. So you have to ask yourself, if you're watching this film, am I going to be entertained by a LGBTQ plus film? Because, there's a comedy routine by a crossdresser, for example. And she's not that he, she, whatever you want. I don't know what this person was supposed to identify as, but it was definitely a man, a biological male wearing women's clothing, performing. So I would assume that it's a drag queen. And this particular drag queen, I don't know how funny I would have considered them, but it's one of the chunkier drag queens, because chunky drag queens are apparently funny and more obviously drag queens, and that's a thing. And then there's like this bar where the bartenders are shirtless, and it's part of their contract that they've got to have washboard abs. So yes, if that's your thing, then yeah, you're going to enjoy this movie. It's kind of an odd movie for that, It's just one of those things where the tension really doesn't ramp up until the end. It's what we would call a thriller because we, the audience, know these people are being stalked, but they themselves don't. And, that has its ups and downs. There's good parts and bad parts about that. I don't know if I can really recommend this film. It may just be that to me, these aren't as interesting things. And to other people, exploring the relationships involved may be better. So, I would say that if you are a LGBTQ plus enthusiast, this is in the upper half of your watch list. But if you're not, this is in the middle of your watch list. I don't think, unless you're really staunchly religious or particularly homophobic, I don't think this film would offend you much. But, I mean, I don't think the acting was particularly good. It's a serviceable horror film, but it's less horror film and more Couples Retreat, and I didn't care much for the Couples Retreat. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear yours in the comments below. I'm Richard.
Ladies, gentlemen, and human-type persons, I am Sergeant Duck, and I am tasking you with commenting on this video. You should also like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with your friends, and make a better, more disciplined world for you and for me. Dismissed!